Hello, 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 and welcome to Women's Wisdom Wednesdays, where we come together every Wednesday to empower women just like you, foster connections, and thrive on our journey of surviving womanhood. I'm Casey Conrad, well-being specialist and whole life coach, and I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity to continue sharing inspirational stories and providing support to women over 40. Your engagement and support have made this journey possible, and I look forward to bringing you more empowering content. Today, we have a very special guest joining us. Her name is Krista Watts, and she has an incredible story to share. But before we introduce her, let's take a moment for me to address you, our audience. We want to remind you to visit our website at www.survivingwomanhood.com, where you can find valuable resources, connect with other like-minded women, and stay updated on our upcoming episodes, webinars, and workshops. We encourage you to actively participate by asking questions and adding comments. And if you have a story to share, we'd love to hear it. This is a safe space for us to learn and grow together. We'd also like to share with you the opportunity to share your favorite episodes. You never know when someone out there needs to hear these inspiring stories. Now, let's meet Krista. She's the owner of and chef at Miss K's restaurant right here in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. And it is an amazing restaurant and one of the only restaurants anywhere round, and when I say round, I mean within 30 minutes, that you can actually get delicious breakfast food, and it's all homemade. And Krista makes it. It's one of our favorite places to go. Krista is also a 13-year survivor of breast cancer. And one of her strongest beliefs is that every stage of life is the best, and that our productivity doesn't need to fade as we age. Krista, I am so privileged to have you here today. Krista and I have known each other. Yes, thank you. We've known each other for a few years now, and it's just been a lovely, lovely journey. I'm so privileged to have you, and I'm sure your story is going to serve as an inspiration to many. So let's get started.
Okay.
Owning and operating a restaurant in a small town is no small feat. And doing so while being a 13-year survivor of breast cancer is truly inspiring. Can you share with us how your journey through cancer has influenced your approach to running Miss K's and how it shaped your perspective on resilience and determination?
Well, as you know, cancer affects your entire life. And it wasn't always an easy time to get through. I had breast cancer when I was 46, went through treatments, and 4 years later decided that I was going to open a restaurant. But before that, I really struggled with some depression and just feeling kind of lost because I've always worked and I've always had a purpose, and I thought my purpose was working. But I did discover that there are other purposes rather than working. So my daughter and I decided to open up Miss K's to fill a void in my life. I didn't want to go back to a 9-to-5. I wanted to do something that I truly loved, and it turns out I'm a pretty good cook. And I'm a pretty good baker too. So
I can attest to that.
And we opened Miss K's within 2 weeks. I had a $2,500 budget, and we opened up. And I like to say that it did save my life. when I was first diagnosed for cancer, I told everybody it's such a blessing because you find out how many people just truly do care about you and how much they wish you well. And the support was amazing. And then after treatment, all that kind of goes away. And you're out there and you've survived cancer, but you're still feeling kind of scared about it. And most of the support has gone away because it's perceived that you're healed. And it took that joy away from me. So my daughter, thank goodness, encouraged me to join her and open up the restaurant. And I know that she did it basically to save her mom. And that joy came back. And from it, I have learned you can't let circumstances steal your joy. I just believe that our mindset has so much to do with our outcome. So I just have learned to approach every day as a blessing because I want to feel that joy. I want to feel that uplifting. And I try to spread that to my customers. We really have become family with so many of our customers. And I really feel that we're serving that purpose by being loving and welcoming. And hey, if you don't have a family, I'll be your family. So, and that really, I think, is the core of my business, is that I'm just not doing this for the money. Because I'll tell you what, there wasn't a whole lot of money in the first years. I did it for others. And now I feel my purpose is to be there and to openly welcome people and make them feel at home and make them smile, even if that's the only time they can smile that day. I reserve the right to open and close when I want to because I have family and we are all about family here. So I just kind of buck the trend and everybody seems to stick with me there.
I love that. Also, I just want to say that Krista is talking to us from her car today because she's just stepped out of the restaurant and there's nowhere in there that would be quiet enough for her to be able to collect her thoughts. And I also want to mention something that I absolutely love. When Krista is cooking in the restaurant, it's all very open and they play music, some of the best music, mostly from the 70s and early 80s. And you can hear Krista just singing away in the back while she's cooking and singing and the radio's going, and it really is a lovely, lovely atmosphere.
Thank you.
And we
I'll
love
be
to
known
come
as
there.
the singing chef, I guess.
Yeah. So you've mentioned that you believe that every stage of life is the best and that our productivity doesn't need to fade as we age. Can you tell us more? Yeah. Can you tell us more about how you maintain that positive outlook that you've just talked about and what practices and mindset shifts have helped you stay productive and passionate in both your personal and professional lives?
As I've aged, I've got a lot wiser. And I've looked back and I'm like, I've enjoyed every stage of my life. When I was 30, I thought, oh God, I'm going to be 40. But man, I sure love being 30. And when I got to 40s, I was like, this is great too. I'm a little wiser. I'm not as stressed. And then I got to my 50s and 60s, and we have so much to offer as women. I think people take for granted that we are the nurturers and the carers, and we take care of the world. And I just feel I wake up every morning, I have a little meditation, and it's about being joyful and grateful and blessed. And I think if we can recognize those qualities in our life, there's always something to be thankful for and to be grateful for. And I know that I am very blessed. And it's not that times have always been great. They haven't. We were poor. in our younger days. Then I went through cancer, and I've had other struggles as well, but I never let it define me. And I know that's hard because some of us struggle, and I understand that struggle. Sometimes we equate with what we are feeling inside, the loneliness and maybe the depression, just not feeling that we're worth as much as we were when we were younger. And it's hard to get out of that funk. But I'm telling you, if you'll just take a little time to be thankful, grateful, and blessed, it changes your whole perspective. And with cancer, you realize that, hey, maybe the things I thought were big things were just little bitty things. And the little things like having my granddaughter wrap her arms around my neck, that's the big things. Mm-hmm. And I think as we get older, we recognize that more. And hopefully we can teach younger women to appreciate the stage that they are in, but not to fear growing older.
I love that. And I think that it's so important to reach out to the younger generations of women who are in that kind of mindset where, right, like they fear their birthdays and they have a birthday, milestone birthdays, 30, 40, and they're not embracing it. They're not embracing that time of life. I think part of that is, of course, we always go to like social media because, everybody puts their best face and best body out there, and we take that in. And I think that younger women, and even like our, like Kai and Rhiannon and the younger girls, they're looking at that and they're judging themselves through those false equivalencies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So and maybe just a second, Krista, share with the audience how your family is made up and how fortunate it is that your kids are working with you.
I am so blessed. As I said, my oldest daughter and I opened it up together, and we started it. And eventually, my youngest daughter came, and she is now our manager. And I have adopted several workers, and I'm known as mom throughout the restaurant. And I'm hoping to instill in them that, hey, look at me. I didn't find my purpose until I was 51. I didn't open that restaurant until I was 51. People thought I was crazy. I was getting ready to retirement age, getting up there. And I'm like, I'm not done yet. And I want my kids to know that as they age, there's still purpose to be had. You can still affect the world. You can still make change in the world. Even if it's just a small change, that counts. And that change might be giving someone a smile when they really needed it, or a hug, or just a hello and a compliment can change that whole person's day. Yeah. And I am really blessed that my daughters work with me and we all get along. Surprisingly, we're together 8 hours a day and we have no issue. We are just 3 peas in a pod, I guess. And their support has been immeasurable to me. And I know that being there is an example for them.
It's really lovely to see that, like, you are showing them how much value we have to offer the world, no matter what stage of life we're in. And although that contribution might change, it doesn't diminish.
Yes, it does not diminish. You can find passion and you can find productivity wherever you are at. It doesn't have to be in the workplace. It can be, even if you're not good at it, sit down and paint a picture. Become literally engaged in book clubs. I just think it's important that we don't seal ourselves off as we get older, because I think that happens a lot. So we just have to agree. Continue to be open to new experiences, and I just have an adventure. I always think of life as an adventure. I never know what's going to happen the next day. just look forward to every next day.
That's beautiful. One thing that you said that I love, I want to say it again so I remember it, and I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. That we should not allow our circumstances to steal our joy.
Absolutely. Wherever you're at, and even if you're in one of your very darkest spaces, dig deep down in there, and there's that little spark of joy. There's something that is going to give you joy, and you build on that. Even if it's, oh man, I just want to sit down with an iced tea and sit out here for a while, sit out in the open. That can bring back a little bit of joy. It's hard, and I know I've struggled myself with it. I'm not trying to come off as somebody that has defeated everything, because it's a daily process, and you have to every day tell yourself, find that joy, find something to be happy from. And I think that comes from my mom. When I was a little girl, at the end of every day, she would tell me 3 things that made you happy today, so that I would look back on that day and realize that there had been at least 3 things that had brought me joy. So I have learned to look for joy everywhere, thanks to my mother.
That's beautiful. I want to ask you something. Through your journey with breast cancer and going through all the treatments, and then what happens with most of us at that time is we kind of begin to reevaluate priorities and what's important to us in life. And we make plans, right? Like, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to do that differently. But I want to ask you, through that journey and now this journey, because running a restaurant is so much work.
It's a little bit of work.
And when the doors close and the close sign is put out there, you're not done.
No, not at all. I'm still there baking bread every night.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is a lot of work, but I've just found something that truly makes me happy. And I am so blessed in that, because I've had multiple positions. I was director of tourism for Hendry County. I was a music buyer for a music store. I've done other things, but this has always been kind of, well, everybody knows you're a good cook. We'll come over to eat at your house,
Yeah.
And I just felt there was a need for a place where people could come in and just feel like they're with family. If they don't have family, I'm your family, And to me, bringing that to other people is such a good feeling that at the end of the day, I've talked with 20 family members that I'm not blood to, and I've brought a smile to their face, and that makes it all worth it.
Beautiful. So there's a lot of giving in your soul, and and every day, you're giving every day. What are some things that you do for your own self-care?
I've learned to relax. I've learned that the house doesn't have to be spotless. There are things that we think we have to do before we do anything. Okay, I can't sit down. I've got to do the dishes. Oh, I've got to run this errand. I've got to do that. And eventually our lives become so busy that we don't take the time to be happy. And so every night I go out on my porch, if it's nice, and I sit out under the stars, and I just sit there and enjoy my little garden. My dogs come out with me, and I think it's almost a meditation practice for me. I'm out there by myself. I'm going over the day, and I'm thinking of everything I can that made me happy that day, so that I go to bed thinking those really nice, happy thoughts, and smiling faces, and hugs, and talking to people that I haven't seen for a while. And so if I meditate on that before I go to bed, I wake up in that proper mindset that I'm going to do it again today.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So running a successful restaurant and being a cancer survivor, you faced numerous challenges and triumphs.
Yes.
What advice might you have for other women who might be navigating their own personal battles, whether it be cancer or something else, because, there are a lot of silent battles going on out there.
Absolutely.
Mm. While striving to achieve their dreams, especially those who are feeling the weight of societal expectations, as we talked about, as we are aging.
And I deeply feel that. I just feel like I've become a rebel of an old lady. And and
I love
I didn't
that.
realize that the
I
world,
feel that camaraderie.
I just feel that I was ready to shed the world's expectation of me after going through those hard times and conforming all the time, worried about my appearance, worried about what came out of my mouth. I would go after having and I'd be like, oh, what did I do? What did I say? I know I was awkward. And I think coming through cancer and other struggles, I realized my own strength and that the world's perception of me should mean nothing to me. My loved ones, how they perceive me and how I perceive myself is what is really important. And so I've just decided, you know what? I'm going to do what I feels good and what is right. And if it gets me into some pickles, it gets me into some pickles. But have that independent streak. Discover the strength within yourself to realize that the world is crazy. It really is. We worship youth and neglect our elders and their wisdom. And we should really be celebrating our elders because we know so much. We have lived through so much. And we've come out on the other side. And hopefully we feel that strength and just the need to just be ourselves. And really, that's what the world wants from you, even if it kind of rejects you at times. But be yourself, find your strength. Dig deep, find your joy, and just know that your personal beliefs and your personal morals and your personal strength is the important thing, not what the concept is.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I want to ask you now a couple of things. You've given us a lot of valuable information, and I do so appreciate it. I would like to ask you, what do you think your 3 key takeaways or the 3 most important things that you would like to convey to other women out there?
Don't be fearful. Women have often been put into positions where we were made afraid or felt unsafe or not respected. Don't be fearful. Be brave, be strong, go out there and do what you know you need to do. Again, always find joy. At the end of the day, if you're having troubles, if you can't find that joy, you sit down at the end of the day and you think back, and I guarantee you will find at least 3 things that made you smile or made you feel happy. And that gratitude reflects within yourself. And I think the other thing would be to celebrate yourself. Be proud. If you're a little different like I am, be proud of that difference. Just self-pride and is especially important to a woman because so many times our pride is derived from looks, from what clothes we wear, what clubs we join, and who we associate with. And that's really not where your pride should come from. It should come from within and being proud of who you are and who you can be and who you can be to somebody else.
Beautiful. I think we've gotten so much great information from you today. And I love the fact that you are so spot on with the things, that you're sharing, and You are so deliberate, and there's no mincing of words, or that it's coming straight from you, from your heart. And it's been so clear that I feel so uplifted for having this conversation. And I'm sure that this is going to be listened to over and over again by so many women, because you have literally just spoken your truth, and not beat around the bush, and not try to fluff it up. And it's just been beautiful. And I know I've said beautiful a lot of times during this episode, but it's how I feel. It's how I
Thank you.
feel. And the beauty of your spirit just comes through. And I so love that. And I always admire you, and I enjoy coming into your restaurant. The feeling is so wonderful. The energy in there is so welcoming. And obviously we're going to continue to keep coming. So I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you sharing your inspiring journey with us. And your strength and your contribution are truly remarkable. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
I think I pretty well hit it. And I just want to tell women, be strong, be brave, and just be you. Just be you.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you so much, Krista. It's been amazing having you. And
Thank
I
you.
I do appreciate it. So if you've been touched by Krista's story, we invite you to leave a comment and share your own stories, suggest future topics or future guests, and actively engage with our surviving womanhood community. And please remember to mark your calendars and join us for our next Women's Wisdom Wednesdays episode on June 19th, when we'll have the privilege of welcoming Shilpa Kudakar McNeely, who will share her inspiring story. Krista, your journey serves as an inspiration to all. Thank you so, so much again. It's been a pleasure. And if you want to catch up on any of our Women's Wisdom Wednesday episodes, any that you've missed or any in the future, please visit our website at www.survivingwomanhood.com and click on podcasts. Together, let's face every challenge, rise above adversity, and support one another on our journey of surviving womanhood. See you next time. Bye, Krista. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You also. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.